Hi, my name is Gemma Ryde, and I am the Distance Learning Programme Director for the MSc in Sport and Exercise Science and Medicine. I co-direct this with Professor Stuart Gray, who is the Programme Director for the on-campus. Our MSc attracts students from a range of backgrounds, including sports science, physiotherapy, and medicine. We have a distance learning and an on-campus option with different groups. Our on-campus are typically undergraduate students, whereas our distance learning are more likely to be professionals already working in the field later in their careers. We currently have 125 students across both groups, with 40 of which being on distance learning. We noticed that over the past 10 years, the job market and the student demographic has fundamentally changed, and we wanted to make sure the MSc was fit for purpose for the next decade, really. Our numbers have been increasing, but we know it's going to be a difficult field over the next couple of years. We had more international students, more complex students, and also employers in the area were looking for more experienced and practical skills from students coming into the job market. Our two programs are also delivered very differently, and we saw an opportunity to try and merge some of the excellent content and delivery from both of the distance learning and on-campus programs, which led to this redesign that we're going through just now, where we've created joint online spaces in Moodle and in Teams for students to interact, to try and make sure that the content was most up to date, especially for distance learning students, and that the on-campus and the distance learning students actually became one cohort and could interact with each other, learning from a wider range of experiences.
Hello there, my name is Jenny Crow. I am the MVLS Digital Education Team Manager and also part-time PhD student. I've been involved in the Sport and Exercise Science and Medicine programme since 2015 when the online version was launched, and Stuart Gray and I worked very closely on that development. And then approximately 18 months ago when Gemma joined the team, I've been working very closely with Gemma to really plan out this new version of the programme. I'm really thinking about active learning and what we can do in that sphere. So one of the things that I learned from my PhD interviews that I did, I undertook 28 online interviews with the online students. And one of the things that they really enjoyed was conversations with one another, discussions, and really getting the opportunity to hear and to share about their different work backgrounds. Often at master's level, they have a variety of different work experience and also cultural background. And often in the sport and exercise science and medicine, they're from different disciplines. So some are physios, some are doctors, some are sports coaches, sports scientists, yoga teachers. It's quite a variety of different work experience. So it's really great to hear from different points of view. And it really brings the learning to life. And also thinking about future conversations. How do we encourage the students to make research connections for the future? Really get to know each other, particularly maybe for career opportunities too. So it's been a big team effort between ourselves and digital education with the academic team and also the administration team to make this happen. There's lots of different guest speakers involved, which is quite a challenge to coordinate, but we feel that brings a real depth and variety to the programme. There's still more to do, so it's been a big effort this time, and it's the first steps. We've really enjoyed seeing how the students have engaged, and we hope this continues for the next cohorts next year.
I think the redevelopment's gone very well so far, and it's very much a team approach. We had a shared vision from the start, so we were all very much on board with the fact that we were happy to merge the programs, and we thought it would address some of the issues that we were seeing. We also thought that it would be help reduce kind of the staff burden as well by only having to update one Moodle. You're dealing with one group as a cohort, which really does help us. So we had a very shared vision, which I think is key to its success. We have weekly team meetings, not just with the teaching team, but with the digital team as well, and our postgraduate professional service staff. So we're very much connected and know what's going on across the board, and we're aware of what's happening in other people's courses, which has really helped kind of to share problems and solutions to the problems as they come up.
I'm Christopher Kennedy. I'm the Learning Technology Specialist who supports the sport programme. From a support perspective, it was quite labour intensive, developing in 2 semesters what would normally be developed over 6 semesters. We also had to work in quite an agile manner, as a lot of the content was being recorded at live on-campus sessions, which then had to be edited and uploaded that same week for the online distance learning students. This should be less of an issue in future years because we now have the base content there for most of the topics. So next time it'll be more of an evolution rather than revolution. The other challenge was that the programme has several guest speakers, some clinical, some academic or research, who weren't always fully on top of the new approach. This is where having learning text embedded within the team really helped. It allowed us to have quick calls with these speakers to brief them on specifically what we needed from a content and a learning approach perspective, but also to reassure and support them on the move to a more flipped classroom and hyflex approach. I believe they appreciated the support and also really enjoyed how this approach allowed them to reconsider how their in-classroom activities and discussions could work.
Hello, my name is Micheal King and I'm a lecturer in sports science at the University of Glasgow. I teach on the MSc Sport and Exercise Science and Medicine programme. One way that we sought to facilitate discussion between on-campus and online distance learning students in the programme was to use Microsoft Teams. So we used this to create tasks that had a real tangible benefit for the students. And by that, an example would be where we've created tasks that students can actually use the information generated towards their assessment. So that might be in the form of literature searches, it might be in the form of generating ideas from podcasts or TED Talks or different media sources, but a place where students can post their ideas and then be critiqued and create discussion from other staff, from the graduate teaching assistants and from each other. So that's been a really useful thing, we think, for the students. We've also seen good examples where we've had on-campus practical sessions and then taken videos and pictures and information from tasks created on the campus and then shared them with online distance learning students to generate a deeper level of discussion about the topic at hand. It hasn't come without challenges. We've found it quite difficult to maintain a consistent level of engagement. It's been sort of peaks and troughs. However, we think we're getting better at it. We're starting to get a better idea of the sort of tasks that the students do like to engage in compared to ones where we maybe see lower levels of engagement. So we'll continue to tweak and change those until we feel that we've got the right balance. But all in all, a very good experience, a real collaborative approach across a multidisciplinary team of myself as the course coordinator, the graduate teaching assistants, the digital learning team, putting together the tasks, putting together the information and sharing it for the students to complete on a weekly basis. Something that we'll hopefully continue to do and look to perfect as time goes on.
Hi there, my name's Euan Haughey and I'm a master's student at the University of Glasgow studying sports medicine. A big part of this year's classes have been the online Microsoft Teams component. Prior to every class, we'll be asked to have a discussion on Microsoft Teams with our classmates about a different topic through all the different modules. This allows both the on-campus and off-campus participants to be able to have a conversation together. And often these conversations have been quite deep and useful, and it's been very interesting hearing from other people about their experiences, from medicine, physiotherapy to podiatry as well. However, I have found that a lot of the conversations that we've been having on Teams have been with the same people, and the engagement hasn't been overly great. However, conversations in class make up for this, but I feel as if the off-campus students may be at a slight disadvantage because of this. A lot of the conversations contain very useful information that has really got me thinking about experiences that I want to have and experiences that what other people have had and how they may be able to advantage me.
Moving forward, we're looking at evaluating this program as much as we can and to learn from what we've been doing. So we have an intern who's going to be starting with us over the next year, and they're going to be specifically looking at how the two cohorts have connected on Teams and how this kind of discussion has gone and whether creating this network is working. We've got a pretty much full day workshop booked with the whole team who took part in the weekly meetings to try and see what worked well, what we want to change in the next year moving forward. But I think we've got a really good base in which to develop from now, and hopefully that will take us forward over the next couple of years anyway to make sure that the program is fit for purpose.